I remember 20 years ago I was standing in that courtroom.
These do.
Man.
Okay, so we did that. We got that. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Video Games and Nonsense podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Chase Carter, and that's...
Raymond Woods.
And this is a video game podcast where we talk about what we've been playing. So, Ray, what have you been playing lately?
Actually, I have been playing Breakpoint again. I downloaded it.
Okay.
I've been playing because I know they had the AI update a while ago, whatever. And I'm trying to finish them because you have to do missions in order to like unlock it. You do it, what's actually really cool. What I actually really like is so you do during these missions you get other AI units, but it's characters from Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay. And this
So
is
it's really cool.
Recon Breakpoint you're talking about.
Yeah. This is Breakpoint that I'm talking about. But then as you play, you the storyline that takes place where you have to unlock, where you can unlock the actual AI characters. You talk to some like head commander or whatever of Rainbow Six, and he sends out like Ash and I think Thatcher. I haven't really played too much of Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, I did, so I understand, but there are characters. You get 3 AI characters that are known in the Rainbow, which I thought was really cool. I was like, hey, that's okay. I really like that. Like it's all tied in. My only problem is with that is the missions. There are a lot of them, and I understand that's a good thing, but because I'm like really excited because with your characters you can customize all their weapons, you can customize all of their gear. Like everything, you have all access to that, which I really like, and I'm like really excited. But like, and the storyline for this one's not too bad, but the storyline for Breakpoint is probably one of the worst told. Not the worst storyline, but how it's told, and then the cutscenes are pretty bad. I mean, we all know that game had a lot of. That game had a really. I mean, it's a really cool game, but it had a real rough start. You already know with all the. I mean, the main reason why me and Dylan stopped playing is because of the bugs. How many bugs there were? But like, this is dumb. Like for instance, one of the bugs. I was in a helicopter, and there was this base that me and Dylan we were going to infiltrate, and I was like, dude, it's so cool. I was like, just parachute down and go see if you can land. Like there was like a tower that they had.
Yeah.
And he was looking down, and he didn't see anybody. We weren't that high up, but he was looking down. We didn't see anybody on the. And this was a long time ago. This was a long time ago when it was still fairly new, and we didn't see anybody on the little tower. So he parachutes down. As he's about to land, 3 like I think he said like 2 or 3 enemies literally appeared out of nowhere. He's like, dude, and then he was spotted, and then the whole fucking place. He's like, this is dumb. Like. This is the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of immersion, like that kind of like, but anyways, so
That's
yeah.
I heard Cyberpunk recently had, they had a patch to fix that because police officers would disappear out of nowhere instead of being like in a police precinct or just walking around the city. They had some patch that put them somewhere where I guess the player couldn't see, and then the response time would be fixed as well. So that kind of thing where people are popping up, I don't know what the issue is in games, but like multiple games have that issue.
I don't really care about Cyberpunk anymore. Like I have 0 interest, and it's not because I played.
You played a lot of it, didn't you? Did you beat it or no?
No, that's the thing. I didn't beat it. I mean, I might go back and beat it just to see, but I mean, I'm like they're trying to say, oh, there's so many different endings. I guarantee there's not. There's probably like 1 or 2, maybe 3.
Well, I only played those games once, and then that's my ending. Same thing with like Mass Effect and all those other things. I don't care about the other endings. I want to do mine and then have my experience in the game. Same thing like Skyrim and all those things that have multiple endings.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for, like I told you before, I'm waiting for the Cyberpunk next gen upgrade to come out and then see what that looks like.
Are you just gonna restart when that comes out?
No, I'm only a few hours in and it's going to upgrade, and hopefully I don't have to restart. But if I do, I'm not very far in.
Okay, just be prepared for some glitches. All right, I'm not saying there might be. I'm saying there will be. Okay.
Well,
Jesus
glitches.
Christ.
There's glitches in every game. What do you want to? Are you expecting a glitchless game? Now, granted, Cyberpunk was a huge like jump off the cliff issue
Be
with
careful.
glitches.
Okay.
Choose
your words wisely. Okay.
But
because holy shit.
But
Every
just
game has glitches, and then we're talking about Cyberpunk. Almost
Yeah.
100% of the player base dropped off within the first month. Almost 100%.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's factually accurate, but
No,
it was
it
a
is.
big.
I looked it
It
up.
was,
I fucking
it's
looked
not
it up. That shit is
100%. No, it's not.
I said almost 100%. I said
So what
almost
does that
100.
mean? 80?
79%.
Okay.
79%. So almost 100%.
It was bad. I bought the game for $50 on Amazon, and then a week or two later it was $30. And I'm just like, ooh. Whenever the price drops like that, it's not a good.
It's just like No Man's Sky when it first came out. I think it was Steam. No, yeah, it was either no. I think it was Steam. Yeah, they were refunding. They were allowing people to refund the game immediately. Like you can still refund games on Steam, but it was like usually it's,
they made an exception for that.
yeah, what they did is they extended the time frame, I guess you could say, because there's a time frame.
Okay.
They're like, if you play the game for like 10 to like 15 hours and you're like, I don't like it, people are like, no, you're lying. you just want your money back. You're just trying to, trying to rig the system or beat the system. But yeah, when it came to No Man's Sky, yeah, that was, now it's good. I mean, but even then, like now I'll still play No Man's Sky and I still see glitches when I.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a thing that will ever.
No, that's fine. That's
like especially with those open worlds. I think you'll always have those glitchy issues. But what about Breakpoint? I like that when it came out, they updated it to like a realistic mode.
Yeah, you can do that where there's yeah, well, what's funny actually is they've always had a point where you didn't really have a HUD. What it was is you press down on the D-pad and it would open up your interface. You'd have like your objective, your map, your ammunition, all that. And that was really cool. Like it gave you the option for that. And it was so you're really immersed into this.
The actual world, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
And
Ghost of Tsushima that didn't have any HUD. It was like the wind guided you, and that was more. You're looking at the environment. And that's one of the things I liked about Assassin's Creed as well. There wasn't a lot. At least I made all the icons smaller. It wasn't too busy. I still don't like how they have the specials at the bottom, like down here and down here of the screen. Yeah. I don't like that. And like the health bar is a little bit smaller, but I don't want to see all of this. But then once you're exploring the world, all that goes away.
Let me ask you.
It's only when you fight you get into the those things pop up.
But let me ask you this: how would you feel if like the next Assassin's Creed they went like very realistic, like not like they didn't have like special abilities, they just had like
realistic. I would love. I hate. Now, granted, like and the Assassin's Creed I didn't like the most was Assassin's Creed 3, and I love the American. Like you're half Native American. Yeah. I love the American Revolution. I love seeing like George Washington and all that stuff. But then you became like a spirit animal and then had these powers, a bear and a hawk and something else. And I'm just like, this is not, I have the Assassin's Creed, the original one, the very first one, you had to like look at handholds and kind of pick a path up buildings.
Yeah.
But that's what was cool to me is like, does that look climbable? And it's like, yes, it does. So then exactly where you placed your hands was cool. So you would have to figure out a way up. But in this Assassin's Creed, you can climb anything pretty much.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because you can't climb anything. That doesn't make sense. Like you should be able to have to pick a path with kind of like a rock climber. Maybe. And that's why, because I spent a couple months at a rock climbing gym and like I see like certain pathways up a certain wall, and then you have to think about that as so it's like a puzzle. It's a vertical puzzle basically in a RPG kind of game. And I like that. I wouldn't want more realism. But where was your question going? What were you thinking?
Well, no, that's just, I was just thinking about it. I was like, how fucking cool that would be. But there'd be too many people who would bitch and complain.
Well, you wouldn't. I don't know. I think if like you didn't like how slow the character in Valhalla moved, and that's
no. It's every attack is a fucking haymaker attack. Like,
well, if you had the like the dagger, like he had the quick stab.
Yeah, but these are some of the axes look like hatchets. And I'm like, calm down, please, calm down. I just want to open this box right here. I don't want you to fucking make it
That is
explode.
funny. That is funny how like you're trying to get into a little crate or something like that, and instead of going like this, he has this huge.
Dude, that right there was when I first saw that in the game, I was like, what is that? I didn't
That
like it immediately.
that turned me off as well. I was like,
Give me
just kick it or something like just.
What am I playing?
Or just don't have those boxes destroyable because it's not
Open a chest.
it's not a part in the game where it's important. It's not a. I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, you already know. My problem is, like I can dual wield 2 giant, like great axes, and then swing them a little bit faster than just a regular handheld axe. I'm like, no.
That axe is made out of really dense metal, and it's harder to swing.
It's adamantium or vibranium.
That's supposed to be light, though. That's supposed to be light.
That's what they said, but apparently in Assassin's Creed world, everything is super heavy. But anyways,
I did like that game because what was it? That one thing that came out I wanted to talk about. There's news. They just released a spring update for it, and it updates your Ravenshire base, and there's different festivity activities, and then through those activities you earn tokens, and then through those tokens you can buy limited edition cosmetics for your settlement. Yeah, for your settlement, and then attire. But the attire is stupid. It's at least to me, it's like this. Since it's springtime, it's like this flowery crown that goes on your head. I don't like that. And then there's put flowery shit in your beard, and that's it. And then a multicolored raven, but the color of the raven is like this bright purple, and then it has white stripes on the wing. You think I'm making this up, but I'm not. And it's just like this weird looking raven. I'm like, why would I want a raven that looks like this? I don't understand who would want basically a parrot.
A little girl.
It's a parrot raven. And
Ravens
like,
are.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm like, this is not. They're black.
Gotta be festive.
I don't understand why they have different cosmetics for the raven. I'm like, it's part of the story. It's part of the story that he's a raven. You're the Raven clan, and then you can make him an eagle or something. No, I already had it. I had an eagle before.
Yeah, I had an eagle before.
I don't understand. It was just that. But like the activities are like you get in a fist fight. Like there's a little arena. You get in battles with people, and then there's a archery competition. And then there's like an egg hunt for Easter. You do that. And then there's two or three other little things I haven't done yet. I need to do more about it, but I'm just like, it's not really a big update, but it's just like little things that keep you.
Little things. Yeah, I get that.
I don't know.
But no, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I have 2 of the games that I want you to try out.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought of this the other day on Xbox Game Pass. I want to pick. The idea is you pick 3 games that you want me to play, and then you choose one at random. Like say you put one in a hat and you choose one at random, and that's the game I have to play for the next episode, just to try it out. Because you pick 3 games that you want to introduce me to that are on, and I do it for you as well. So those are the games or whatever.
Well, actually, no. I have, since I thought it was only 2, but since it's 3, I have the 3.
Okay. What are the 3 games that you would like me to play?
Dead Cells, and then that game, Ori Will of the Wisp.
Okay, the first. Okay, I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
And then Subnautica.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, like you'll like Subnautica. You got like those 3 games, really really cool games. They're not like games where you're like that you're not gonna like them. Any game.
I just want to pick things that I find interesting that we normally wouldn't play or don't play.
Well, that's why I do. That's why I do that all the time. Like for instance, just recently I actually that's right. I forgot. How could I forget about this? I just recently actually downloaded 2 simulator games. One is a cooking simulator, and then one is a car mechanic simulator.
Okay, is that VR? Or no?
Actually, the cooking simulator can be played in VR, but not the
car mechanic.
Not the car mechanic, but the car mechanic, dude, has it's because they're both on Steam, and the car mechanic has overwhelmingly positive reviews, and like I was learning, like I'm like, okay, I'm really actually learning about cars right now. I know nothing about cars. I know how to change oil. That's really about it.
Yeah.
Change my tires.
Yeah, don't
But
forget
dude, like,
air filter, and that's about it.
yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, if you were to see this game, you'd be like, what? This is like, it's insane. Like, it's
What do they
insane.
have? Actual cars? Like
Yes, yes, real cars. It, dude.
Hmm.
Like, and you go like,
So they have Ford and Hondas and all that stuff.
oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
so cool. Just a virtual way to say if you have car issues on your car, you can actually just go into this game and figure out how
literally, like,
everything.
hey, what am I hearing? Well, like, for instance, like, there is this one, like, I still don't know the names to a lot of the parts because I'm still learning. I just started playing it, but I had to. This one guy, he said that he didn't know. He said that he wanted his tires changed, and then he said that there was a banging in his engine. You have to actually go. You don't know. You have to actually have to go into the fucking engine, and you have to, like, in order to get to certain parts, you have to take other parts off. You can't just, you have to
Well, yeah,
take, like,
yeah.
you have to take this one part off, another part, and you have to get it. And like, the parts that are like that you need to replace, or that they'll have like rusted look, like a rusted look on them, and then you have to replace them. Like, and you have to take screws out, take belts off, you have to take pieces off, and I'm like,
That'd be so cool to do in VR too.
I know,
Like
I
just
know. But then the cooking simulator,
Yeah.
you can do that in VR as well. I know I'm gonna have to try that out as well. But the cooking simulator is very realistic as well. It's, you have to cook things for a certain amount of time. You actually have to flip, like, if you cook like or if you cook like salmon, you actually have to use a spatula and flip it. Like, you can't pick it up because it's hot. If it's hot, you can't pick it up.
That's
The game
cool.
won't let you. You can get the only problem though is the spatula is kind of hard. It's a little weird because I've tried to flip it with the mouse and keyboard, and it's finicky. It's kind of
Yeah.
finicky. But you do get where you can have like heat proof gloves where you can just pick them up and then just flip it. Which I was watching like reviews or like tips, and people were like, just get that. Don't even try the spatula. Just buy that first. They said and then you, like, when you have to actually cut things, like cut like lemons, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, carrots, all that kind of stuff. And you at first, when you cut them, they'll, like, if you cut things, you don't hold it, it'll just kind of cut, and they'll just fall apart. You
Yeah.
can get the ability where you can hold, like, you don't see your hand holding the actual whatever the produce or product is, but you hold shift and then you cut, and then you see the knife it's hovering over, and you have like a red little aiming
So you can
reticle.
basically cut this however you want.
Literally.
That's
And
cool.
like, if you turn it, you can turn it every direction you want. You could cut it in fucking eighths, like, all kind of crazy stuff. You have
That's pretty
to
cool.
clean up. You have to clean. You can make messes. You can break stuff. You can break bottles. You can burn things, obviously. And then, like, it'll, like, the customer, they'll depending on how well it's cooked, if it's overcooked, how well the taste is, if you over season it or under season it, the customer will tell you, like, you'll get a rating, all that.
Hmm.
Dude, I'm like,
What is it just called Cooking Simulator? Is that what it's called?
yep.
Okay. I was you're like, I bought this
Simulator.
cooking simulator. I was like, what is the
What's
game
the game
called? I was
called?
like, oh,
Cooking Simulator.
Oh, got it.
Oh,
Straight to the point.
got it.
I know exactly what that game is. It's not an issue.
Yeah, but yeah, this car mechanic game, like I said, man, like, if the more and more I play it, I know, like, I'm gonna go to my dad and start talking. Like, if I play that game for a month, I'm gonna go and start talking to my dad, and he's gonna be like, "Where the fuck did you learn this shit?" I'm like, "Oh, well."
Well, Dad, you know how you said video games are a waste of time?
Even though he loves
Oh yeah,
Metroid
he loves
and
video
all
games.
that.
Yeah.
That's all he plays. But
Yeah, he has a
I completely
flight
forgot.
simulator.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
definitely likes that. I know. I was telling him about because the new flight simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah,
I
why
got-
don't you
well, I
bring him
think I got, like,
over? Yeah, why
I know.
don't
I
you
was
bring
thinking
him?
about, because you could do that in VR. I think he would.
Yeah, put
I
him in
think,
VR and then get those controls that he has and just
Dude,
bring him to your
he would
put him on your
freak
computer.
out. He
Just
would
put him in that.
lose his mind.
Yeah, for like his birthday, just set all that up for him and then just have him come over for a few hours.
Oh my dude, he'd be there for days. Vicky. I'm gonna spend the night at Ray's tonight and tomorrow and the next day. I'm calling off work.
Next week, actually. In fact, we're not married anymore. I found this video game pit.
Phew, man. But so yeah, I always do that. I always forget that, like, I'll buy, like, and like the cooking simulator was only $20, but there's the DLC. It comes with like a bunch of other stuff where you can, like, bake. You have baked goods, and it's also cool. You can I haven't played it yet, but it's called cooking on Food Network channel. I was like, that sounds interesting. I was like, I don't know what that means. But it was an an extra $20, so it was like $40. And then, dude, the car simulator game was like $8. Dude, if you wanted to, you could get that game for your little laptop, dude. It doesn't require anything.
Well,
Like
anything
really,
crazy, yeah.
yeah. So if you wanted to, you
I
can
know.
check. You'd be like,
I already play enough video games. I got my console.
hey.
But the 3 games I want to pick for you is that the Empire of Sin. I'm playing that game. I tried out Descenders. It's a mountain bike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
bike
played
game?
that. Yeah, I tried that one. I
Oh,
didn't try it out too much, but it's yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, then I got to try out a different game you haven't played yet. And then have you played Gears Tactics yet?
No, I have. I was looking at that. That's funny. I was like, Chase, that might be one of the ones that he'll pick.
Yeah, that's the game. I was like, I wanted to try that out, but then Empire of Sin it's like that in a way because it's turn based.
Okay.
It's like you ever play XCOM?
No, I never. I watched you play it though. I watched you play it.
It's basically that. Like you have 2 turns and you can move. Like you move to different squares on this like a map.
Actually,
basically and all that stuff.
Dang it. There was another game I forgot. It wasn't. Which ones did I say? Which 3 did I say?
You said
Dead Cells.
Dead Cells. Yep.
I know those are 3 games. Because there's another game that I would like you to try. It's called Monster Sanctuary. And
you said Ori and the Wisp, Will of the Wisp, and then you said
Subnautica.
Subnautica, yeah.
But there's another one that because I've been playing, and it's kind of like Pokemon, but it's not. It's called Monster Sanctuary.
Yeah.
But it's turn-based. But the animations, like me and Dylan, we played. I didn't even know about that game. I didn't even know it existed, and I just saw it. It said Monster Sanctuary. I was like, what the fuck is that? But it's really cool because it's not Pokemon. It's not Pocket Monsters. They're called they're monsters. They're like so you pick at the beginning of the game. There's like 4 different ones, but they're called spiritual familiars.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's really cool. And the storyline is actually good. Like I'm like,
is that on Game Pass or no?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
I was like, but like I said, like it's very technical. There's a lot of different monsters, and I know that's a game for you that you really don't ever really play. And you never know, like turn-based. I mean, because you said the Empire Sin, you said it's turn-based, right?
Yeah, I don't mind turn-based. It depends on how it's done. Like if it's
this one
deep and detailed, like yeah. So
I
like that.
It's 2D. It's 2D. But it's like I said, it's like the animations are really cool. Like and it's like I said, the storyline is interesting. The setting, like the areas, and it's a simple game, but it's and you get different power-ups, potions, all a bunch of stuff, and the game is hard. Monster Sanctuary is a hard game. So is Dead Cells, because Dead Cells is that permadeath. Like you die once, you got to start over.
Yeah.
So I want to see, because I don't think you've ever really played a permadeath game where with Dead Cells. So I would like to see.
Oh, I play State of Decay all the time. I'm gonna get a piece of paper and do the little 3 thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that thing as well. I should have some paper. I'm coming. Hold on.
Oh, don't worry about it. I moved this like a week ago because I was like, I don't use this paper, and then
I know.
need to use
It's always when you don't use something, you're like, where the fuck did it go? You're so good. I do have a hat on.
You okay?
I was gonna say I don't have a hat though. Go fuck yourself.
It's like you're a little loose.
Hey, I told you I said that to a girl when I was in college. Didn't translate well. Not at all. She was like, what? I was like,
what does that mean? Like, no, it means you're...
Never mind. So you said it for me, Empire Sin.
Yep. Gears Tactics.
So you're cool with me coming down next weekend? All right, sounds good.
Yeah, we're going to watch UFC fight.
Ooh.
On Saturday.
I will be down.
Descenders.
You get fucking drunk.
Just like what? I don't know.
Why? Calm down.
It's a little excessive.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, I don't know where it went. I'll have to pick up a different one for you then.
Wow. I was all excited.
I don't know what it was.
I got a game.
No, you can't pick your own game. That's not how it works.
This is a really good one. I'll show you.
Gears. Yeah, I'm writing down yours. You write down the one that you're doing for me. That way there's no cheating. Son of a bitch. Now I'm trying. Now it's a issue.
Look at the camera.
Well, I don't. Hold on. Look at the camera. Oh, okay. That one. You chose that one. That one.
That's a good game.
That's the thing I
Game
had
of the
to.
year. Game of the year.
You know, I'm getting real sick and tired of your attitude.
Yeah.
Otherwise, unruly, greedful. No.
Don't do Greedfall. Try Greedfall. Crap.
It's crap.
Oh, it was bad. I was like, ew.
Did you ever play Sunset Overdrive?
Yeah, actually, I played it for a little bit. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then a long time ago, I came back to it. I was like, this game's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's always been a game. I played it for a while. Thought it was really cool. I always wanted to finish it. The other one could be Darksiders Genesis, maybe. That's the game you'd probably like.
I played that, Chase.
God damn it!
That's a really good game. You and Corey would like that.
Have you played Deliver Us the Moon?
No, actually, I haven't.
That's your third one.
No, I know which one you're talking about though, but I haven't. Yeah, I heard it's pretty good. Heard it's kind of scary. Deliver Us.
The Moon.
Wait, why are you writing it down? I'm writing it down.
No, that's not how it works. Because then you'll cheat.
Oh.
I told you. I'm writing down the ones I picked for you. You write down the ones you picked for me.
All right. I knew that. I knew that.
Okay. This is what we're doing as the sunlight cascades through the thing. So we have. Oh, I'm going to chop this up because that was a long time to get through that. Okay, so we're going to play the game now. Deliver Us from the Moon, Empire of Sin, and Gears Tactics. I'm crumpling up in a little piece of paper here.
And then throw it in the air, I guess. I don't know.
No. Which one? You choose. Which one in my hand? This is my right hand.
Okay.
So, do you want right, middle, or left?
I'll do middle.
Do middle? Okay, so taking that away. I feel like this is a magic trick. I know, right? You got Deliver Us the Moon.
Ooh. All right.
Okay, that's one you're going to play for a week and then give us an update about it because I still got to talk about Empire of Sin and I don't know if I want to talk about that. Depends on what I want to do.
All right, Chase. You got your games right here.
I want to say which one it is.
Mix them up.
You don't have to mix them up. If it's crumpled up, I can't see it. Doesn't matter.
Well, they're folded up.
They're folded.
You still can't see them. You're like, I see them. All right. This is my left hand.
Okay.
And right hand.
I'll go right hand.
Right hand. All right.
Well, you got it. Well, see, now you put it out of the camera view.
That's all right.
That's
it's Subnautica. I just put Subnautica on all of them. I was just kidding. I didn't. I promise. So you have Ori Will of the Wisps on that one, and then Dead Cells.
Okay, I like how you're showing it in 2 seconds. This is what you did. This is Ori. This is
Dead Cells.
Thank you. I got to stop and see.
Ori Will of the Wisps. Subnautica, you big bitch.
You see, again,
because it's that important.
It is very important to the one person who watches this. It's very, very important. Nobody likes this. Okay, so I got to play Subnautica for at least like 2 to 3 hours. At least.
Like I said, if you need any help, call me and let me and just ask.
And what game did you get? No. What game did you get?
Delivers to the Moon.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited to play that. And I didn't even know that was on Games Pass. But stream Subnautica and I'll help you out with it.
Okay.
Stream it. I'll be in a party with you actually, and that way we can communicate better.
Okay, that'd be better. But I want to talk about Empire of Sin and see if you a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes or whatever. But it's a game based in 1920s. It's in Chicago, and you're basically a mobster, and you choose between a multitude of mob bosses, and then you're that guy. And they're different. Yeah, they have different abilities. And then they have different, obviously, attacks and whatnot for combat. And then they also have different bonuses for whether it be like for breweries, whether it be for what is it when like what are they called when brothels. Yeah, I was like fucking. I was like whores. What are they called? Ladies of the night. Brothels. That's what they're called. And then casinos. They have all these different buffs for that. But then you're dropped into this one suburb of Chicago. It's like near South Side, and then you have competing gangs around you that hold different rackets, and then you kind of it's like this back and forth. But there's 10 other or 9 other gang leaders, and they're all warring with each other at the same time. And so so if somebody asks, like if you build up your I don't know, your gang enough, people will ask for protection, like a 6-month contract of protection, and they'll send you money or a week, or they'll send like alcohol. And remember, like this is 1920, so alcohol is illegal. So that's
yeah.
So it's kind of cool about that. And then each racket you take over, you can individually upgrade how you want to. Your breweries.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, your breweries can upgrade, and then you can actually change the type of alcohol you make depending on what's popular in the city or that suburb at that time. So it'll tell you, hey, the customers want this. Now they're switching from whiskey to like premium alcohol.
I like that.
Yeah, so there's different things like that. And then you get to hire. There's a lot of tutorial.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because there's all these menus that I haven't even started to. I played it for maybe 5 or 6 hours so far.
Different sub menus and all that, and yeah.
Yeah, and then they have like the main kind of story mission that puts you through. There's different random side missions that happen, and then they have that, like I said, the war zone. So it's like, say, if I'm protecting a certain group, but then that group gets war. I don't know what, or it gets drawn into a war. I have the choice of backing them up or saying no, I don't want any part of it, and then that like honor.
I like that because it gives you choice.
Yeah, you can ask for sit downs with different mob boss leaders, and then kind of go that certain way. It's not, the conversations aren't really in depth. You don't do a lot of finagling, but it's kind of it's cool. I like it.
No,
the combat system when someone takes over your place or whatever, then if your security is ranked up, then you have more security guards there and better security guards there, and then you get basically teleported to that. And you're not your character, you're the people who are there protecting the place.
Sure.
So that's what I kind of like about that. And then you get into little turn-based fighting. You choose to shoot them or double shot them without moving or hunker down, in that spot or whatever. And then so it's a pretty cool game. And then I played Descenders, which is like a procedurally, you said you played it too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like a procedurally generated downhill time trial stunt mountain bike game.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's fun. I another game that I started playing actually just last night was Steep.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's weird because when I first started playing it, I didn't really like it. I was like, this is odd. And then I played it again. I'm like, why did I not like it? I don't understand. It's really cool. It's and the ragdoll effects when you like crash is really, really cool. And what I like too is if you crash like and you like do a lot of tumbling and stuff like that, you hit a lot of rocks, your character will just get up and kind of just dust it off and you just go again. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You don't like, oh, I respawn over here. No, it's pretty cool. And you obviously you can play with 3 other people, so that's really cool.
There was one downhill game that I saw promoted, but it has like, it's like 100 people going down a hill at once, and it's like
shit.
It's like whoever makes it to the end. It's basically a battle royale, but it's a downhill. But people are like skydiving, people are on snowboards, people are mountain biking. There's all these different. I need to look that up. Hold on a second.
It kind of sounds like Fall Guys, but it's not sports. But have you heard of Fall Guys?
No.
Fall Guys. Okay, so you remember MXC?
Yes.
It's Fall Guys is basically that, but if you fail, you get eliminated, or if you like fall off the edge or whatnot, or you'll get eliminated. But you're like these little characters, and it's like 30 people, and you all just run and you just do these obstacle courses, and it's a battle royale. It's kind of cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like just if you're just playing with your friends, just imagine me, you, Dylan, I don't know, someone like Corey, all us 4 just playing that. We're just freaking out, trying not to fucking die. I think
that does sound. What game was? I can't remember what game that was.
It sounds cool, yeah.
But it just had. It looked really, really good. It looked basically what I thought Steep would be, but it's basically a downhill battle royale game, and
And then Steep too.
whoever survives, because you can die, I guess, in the game. So if you
Yeah.
crash and die, you're out of the game.
Yeah, I know.
Or you're out of the race, I guess.
Steep is because obviously Steep, you can snowboard, you can ski, you can do paragliding, you can do wingsuit, and then they with like more DLC, they added like a rocket wings, I think I can't remember. Yeah, rocket wings.
Yeah.
And like the movements and everything, it feels really good. Like feels really really good, and it's you know how when you're when you snowboarding, you're sideways, right? When you're snowboarding, you're sideways.
Yeah.
When you're going down a hill, and then in that game, Steep, if you do a backflip, he doesn't turn straight and then do a backflip. He does a backflip facing this way. So they thought, I was like, it's just a little thing. You're like, hey, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to turn your body and then be this way, obviously, then but I like that kind of. But yeah. So I'm playing that. I'll probably play that more tonight, more Breakpoint. But yeah. Are you thinking about streaming Subnautica tonight?
Probably. I think Corey wants to play Sea of Thieves again. She's in extreme Sea of Thieves mood.
No, I just don't know.
Well, I like playing a little bit. We tried. She wanted to play over the weekend, and she got her friends together, and we got on a galleon, a big ship, and nobody knew. It was just random chaos. Nobody had jobs.
Oh.
Nobody was doing what they were supposed to do. And me as
never again.
And I'm like, for this to be fun, everybody needs to, like, I don't care if I'm a bilge rat and I'm down below repairing shit, as long as I know that there's a goal, what we're doing.
Yeah.
People were just off doing random things. But there was a cool, I guess one of the developers died a year ago, I guess. And so they did this, and then it took them a year put this in the game, which was, I don't know what it was. It's called Glitterbeard. There's like 22 different journals, and you can you pick them up throughout the thing and read them. But I guess the last one, it takes 8 people, and so you have to go on Plunder Valley, or Plunder. Can't remember the name of it, but it's a big circular island, and there's a north spot and a south spot, and then south, northeast, south, all the different spots on the whatever. And then you have to play, each person has to play a different instrument right as the sun goes down. So as the sun sets, you play this song, and then you're surrounding a tree with these bottles that are being held by like ropes and strings or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the bottles start to light when you're doing it. And you have to play a certain song, by the way. You have to play a certain song.
Oh.
Yeah. So you play this song or whatever, and then it's basically a tribute to this guy. And so he lives forever in the game, which is pretty cool. But it plays this like really emotional, sad song, and then like the bottles like inside start to light up one by one, and so it starts to get brighter and brighter, and then the tree starts to like glow, but it starts from the bottom of the trunk and then like rises, and you see his initials carved in the tree.
Oh wow!
And then like this woman who sounds like an angel starts to sing out of nowhere. You don't know what it is. And then the glowiness, I guess, spreads into the branches. And then starting from the north spot on where the person's standing playing the song, there's like a ring of fire that starts to ignite. And then it spreads around, and then it disappears, and then all that stuff disappears. And then a vault door opens. And it's like the stone thing falls, and you go in, and basically like, I guess a tree house that he made for his kids or something like that. It's like decorated in that thing.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go into there, and you just read. He has another journal or whatever, and it's basically like, this game is meant for like meaningful keep, be who you are, and all this basically positive messages. I don't know if he wrote all this stuff before. I don't know if he was. Like,
maybe that's who he was, how he was.
He knew he was going to die. I'm not too sure, but it's like him speaking, and his nickname, I guess, in the company was Glitterbeard. So he, when you do that, you unlock a beard that has like these little glitter marks in it or whatever, and it's pretty. You get like an achievement. But
imagine the family seeing that.
I'd
lose my mind.
I'd start crying.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me when you were talking about when you said that he lives in the game forever.
That's a really cool thing that developers can do.
Okay.
That's a really
Here's
cool
the thing. There's like a VR program where they did it for this woman. This woman had lost her daughter, and they took pictures of her daughter
Yeah,
and made her in VR.
that would be weird. I don't know if I would.
Yeah,
wanna...
and they if I remember correctly, I'd have to look it up again because I saw it a long time ago. But if I remember correctly, they had like video footage of her and like of her like voice and stuff like that, and they put her voice in with the character, and the mother, you see like the mother like touching her daughter's face in VR, and the mother's losing her mind. I was like, okay, oh my god, and I was like, I'm never telling my mother. I cannot tell my mother about that. I can't tell her
No,
about that. She would pursue it. She would try to do. She's like, what? Now, if I could get something like that,
but like that's what people need to like. I don't know if that's a healthy thing to do.
I know exactly because letting go,
hanging on to this lost thing. You'd rather be. I mean, most people who play video games, I guess they have that that disconnect between video games and real life. But then there's some people who just play video games all the time and that's their life. But then there's now obviously with VR, there's gonna be people who just live in there. And then if you can bring back dead family members, like why wouldn't they rather
why would they live in reality?
Yeah, when I have dreams about like my grandmother, just like having conversations with her, and I wake up and I'm so happy because it feels like for a moment that she's alive, and then you realize, and you're like, oh god, damn it, this is a dream. Like, but if you could relive that, have that feeling again
in real life,
and then have it, you would just keep putting it on, but then you're not living your life.
Especially, dude, I don't even want to I don't even like talking about it. Just like, just for the people who've lost, like my grandmother.
Yeah.
After 50 something years, my grandpa died. I'm just like, I'm gonna cry all night.
Yeah, but I think it would come to the point where you're not sad, you're just happy. I don't know if you would I think at first you would have that initial sadness, but then you would get hooked, depending on how realistic the program is.
Of course.
But I think after a while you would see that, what was it? There was some Black Mirror episode, and I'm going to spoil an episode of Black Mirror. I don't know what episode it is, but this woman, she loses her boyfriend, and then there's a company in that world that makes like a robot version.
Yep, the android. Yeah,
and like,
and it's him, but it's not him, and she loses her mind.
Yeah, she kind of understands that. At first, she loves it, but then she realizes it's not really him, and then that's something you can't create.
Like his soul wasn't there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It was interesting.
And it was actually that actress she played I can't remember her name now. She was in the Captain America movies. That actress.
Yeah, she was a good actress. I remember. I don't know her name either, but she's really good. I was just sitting there like, what? But seeing all the emotion that she goes through, I was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what most people would have. Maybe like, this is great, and then have to try to have a relationship with the robot. Yeah, and they can't. That is supposed to mimic somebody else who was alive. I think you would lose small details and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and did you see that one Black Mirror where it was with now I can't remember her name either. The actress the main actress, the redhead that was in the Jurassic World movies, where she was like your status and like how wealthy you were was based off of your fame in like social media.
That app or whatever. Yeah. And she was like broke and no one would give her rides and all of those things, like different likes. It was like
that's an interesting world.
It's an extreme version of basically our world. Like it's like when social media kind of bleeds into the real world, but that's just all of social media is the real world. Like if you get bad reviews on that app or whatever, then people treat you completely differently in real life. It's like that's not who I am on the. I was frustrated, I was upset, but everyone has to be like this fake happy.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be pretty weird. All right, so I want to shift it just a little bit. Like I said, I do want to talk about gun control because, look,
this is a hard shift. This is a hard shift you're making.
I know.
Yeah,
but this is something that I feel like I need to talk about because
obviously this is therapeutic. This is what this is.
Yeah, right. That's true. But with these shootings, obviously they're very sad. It's very convenient that in the middle of the Democrats pushing for more gun control, all of a sudden here comes more shootings. I look.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
No.
I think they
come on,
take advantage
you
of
can't.
situations. I look. I don't pass the government has. What was that one thing they tried to do? And Kennedy vetoed it. They were going to kill American civilians, like, and then blame it on a different country so they can go to war with them. I forget what it was.
Well, look, this. You remember the whole? I can't remember what incident it was, but it was the incident where the CIA had sold drugs to. Oh, now I can see it. Now I can't remember.
I hear all these stories too, and I'm like, holy shit! But then I forget about them and all the details.
Yeah, I know, because but it's something had to do with like the CIA sold drugs to certain people, and then they I can't remember now. I don't want to talk about it because it's just going to confuse. But I'd have to. I'll put a pin on that. I'll circle around.
Okay.
Joe Biden's
Hopefully.
press secretary. Let me circle around to that. Anyways, but yeah, but I don't know. Like when it comes to look, I understand. There are certain conspiracy theories. It's like, okay, come on, but then the shit that we don't know, like the
stuff that we never even hear about. Yeah. Like, and that's what people are like, there's this conspiracy theory, and I'm just sitting here like, dude, there are tons of stuff that are going on that people do not realize every day. So
so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's real convenient. And my problem is like there's two huge problems that people don't understand. One, these politicians talk about guns and they have no idea what they're talking about. They say AR stands for assault rifle. It's not true. They say that they're military grade weapons. An AR-15 is not a military grade weapon. Not even close. Those are false. That's completely false. So with that being said, and then you have, we need more gun control. When you have cities, any city that has the most gun control has the most crime when it comes to shootings. That is a fact.
I think because you get, I would say, like cities like Chicago where you can't own a gun legally, right? In Chicago.
No, it's just that
you can't own a gun, right?
But it's the restrictions are so high there that it's very, very difficult to own a firearm. It's incredibly difficult because of so many gun restrictions. But look, and so with that being said, the reason why these Democrats and liberals and progressives are pushing these even more gun restrictions, there has to be an alternative motive. There's nothing else. With all this evidence, why else would you need to push so much gun control? Even more than we already have?
I think people have I don't know if there's in my playing devil's advocate. I love conspiracies. I would love to think that they're all communists and they're trying to take over the world, the country, whatever, slowly. That makes a great story. But in reality, I think they see all these shootings and they think of, well, what's the issue? Well, the guns are the issue. Because without guns, people wouldn't be having the ability to kill. Well, hold on. They wouldn't have the ability to kill a bunch of people at once. But say you can go to the UK where guns are banned and then stabbings and knives, murder skyrocket. Yeah, because it's not illegal to have a knife on you. So criminals are going to carry a knife. Like, it doesn't matter what the instrument is. Now, you can say it's easier to kill multiple people with, say, a handgun. But that's 15 shots. Are you going to hit people like deadly with all those shots? Like, who knows? Like, you can't come in with the machine gun, but like those kind of machine guns, aren't those illegal? Like yes. Normal civilians can't have those.
They say a ban on assault rifles. That what they're referring to is fully automatic machine guns. Those are already illegal.
Well, yeah,
for civilian use, they're already illegal. So what are they talking about? That's my point. When you really dig deep into it, you have to look at the evidence is there. You say, so what are you really after? Like, that's the whole problem. Oh no, it's not the guns, because they're not going after handgun shootings. They're not doing that. They're not trying to ban handguns.
Well, I think it comes from a good place, but I don't think the implementation of it, I don't think they see all the way through. I would say I would rather live in a society where gun ownership exists. And I don't know if I'm biased because I was born here in America. I'm not too sure. But I would say just the overall fact that I don't trust government and just groups of people in general, the small satisfaction
that's why
the small satisfaction that I have to say, if I feel in danger, I could own a gun and maybe protect myself. Like the people now, if the government wants to come in and take my house they're bigger than me individually. But like, if say the government turns and forces themselves on you and come in your house, so like they're gonna get get that resistance, that wall of whatever guns I have in the house, and that's what people are terrified about because it's happened in other countries where they outlaw guns and then they go through like, oh, you have a problem with us? Well, we have all the guns now, so what's your issue? But then people make that argument. Yeah, sorry to go on for a little bit. People make that argument, but then they say, well, the government has drones and bombs, and so what are you going to do against that? And it's like, that's not the point. I don't want guns, bombs, bazookas. I don't want that, but I just want something that is that I can defend my, I don't know, property with, or my house, or myself, just myself. Like if people walk in here with guns, I should be able to fight back.
Yeah, and you know, and this right here, this completely destroys the whole gun control. Making more, you know, putting more restrictions on guns, trying to make, you know, this and that illegal, whatnot. We already have drugs illegal, but do people still do drugs? Yes. Yes. That completely destroys the whole gun control and trying to do this, blah, 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 blah. Now, obviously, we need background checks. I understand that, obviously, but that's not what I'm saying. But what that's the problem. My whole thing is they're dismissing all these other facts. They don't care about all these other facts. They don't care about all the shootings in these high gun restriction areas. They don't care about all those shootings. They don't care about people already doing drugs. They don't care about
just the mental health of the people.
Yeah, they don't care about the fact that they actually don't. They're not actually factual when it comes to even speaking about guns. They don't care about all of that. But yet they're still pushing this so hard. So in my opinion, if someone is pushing something like that and they disregard, like I'll put it this way. So like if you tell me something, so if you give me some sort of scenario or like something that happened, well, no, how do I? But anyways, let's say like, okay, we'll just use gun laws. You tell me, you're like, hey, here are the facts, and I'm sitting here, I'm pushing, no, we shouldn't have this, or that. And you're pushing, well, no, we need this and that because of this, and this. But I ignore everything that you say. Even though it's factually and statistically correct, I ignore everything that you're saying. You're automatically going to look at me, wait a minute. What are you really trying to do here? Why are you pushing this even though you have damning evidence proving you otherwise? You would automatically think, you're like, yeah, okay, there's something else going on. You're wanting something else out of this. And that's what it is.
Yeah, but a lot of those politicians are they're doing the opposite of what the other side is just to differentiate themselves, just so they can go back to their voting base or whatever and say, hey, we're not like these people or that people over there. So I think people have this.
Or it's a power grab. They want power control.
But I don't understand. Like what bothers me in that argument is I don't understand it's the same thing with what was it when like they locked down California, like outside restaurants, even though there's no scientific evidence that COVID spreads outside in mass. Mm-hmm. You know, it might do it in small percentages, but it doesn't do it, you know, like crazy, like inside close spaces does. But they just said it was like for optics, so they can say they did something, and then I'm trying to think of why would the government, whose money comes off of taxes, want companies to go out of business? That doesn't make any sense unless they're in
the smaller businesses go. So then the big businesses
that are allowed
they come
to,
in. Yeah. That's what it is. It's control. It's power control. That's all it is. Look, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you try to justify it or think about it. It always points to one thing. It's always
money.
It's always
money.
Power,
yeah,
greed, and control. That's what it always points to, and that's exactly why conservatives and more Republicans, they want less government, and they understand that. They want less government.
But they also want less government, a lot of nefarious, because they don't like the regulations, which means usually less money, and they want smaller taxes or less taxes so they can have more money. So like there's both sides of it. I can see both sides of the position.
So that doesn't make any sense. So if we pay less taxes, that means more money for the Republicans? Doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm saying
if we pay more taxes.
Republicans, like, no, they want to keep their money. The rich people want less taxes because they want to keep their money. That's why people who are very when people
no.
get older and they get more money, they become more conservative because they want to keep their money. They're not poor and they're not sitting here asking for things. When they make money and
Well,
can
yeah.
spend for themselves, they want to keep more of
Well, of course,
themselves,
but that goes for everyone. Now, if it was,
Oh, yeah.
hey, we
Most
want
people
our
do.
tax bracket to be, we pay less taxes, but everyone else has to pay more taxes, then obviously that's corruption, clear as day. But they're like, no, everyone should have that, everyone. And then, of course, Biden, of course, there's talk it's probably like I've heard that it's, I've read that it's gonna be one of the biggest tax hikes in history. One of them. Now, I'm not.
Well,
I'll wait
depending
till
on
I see
where
it.
it's from, like they could mean percentage wise, because Trump lowered it to a really, really low standard, and then if he puts it back up to where it was, that difference could be technically the
But
biggest hike.
even then, what that was that I think, if I'm not mistaken, that where it was with Obama, the tax bracket was one of the other reasons why we had a recession, or just one of the reasons why we had
Well, there's
why we
a
had a
bunch of
recession.
reasons,
Well, yeah, of course, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And so,
and I don't even know 3 of the reasons.
and that's what
My brain breaks when I
Well,
try
yeah,
to
of
watch
course.
like hour-long YouTube videos about
taxes and all that.
Yeah,
Now, I
yeah.
do know that taxes, and the thing is because, man, it's so funny how the Democrats and these progressives, they rely on their voters' ignorance so much. It's almost like they're praying to them to stay ignorant, because all they have to say, if as long as they're ignorant, all they can say is they don't know because most of us don't know how politics work. Most of you and I don't even really know how it works. I don't even really know how our tax bracket system. I don't even know how our tax system works. What I do know is that how our tax system is. You can't raise one tax bracket, which is what they're saying. Oh, we're only going to raise the taxes on the rich. That's not how it works. That's never how it works. If you raise one tax bracket, all the other ones follow suit. That's how it's worked. That's just how it is. I don't really know how, because I watched a video on it and they explained
it. Would that be a form
it.
of discrimination if they just raised it for one group of people?
You could probably fight that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, why am I like? I guarantee you there'd be, if they did that, if they were able to do that, then the lawyers would be like, well, we're about to make a bunch of money.
Well, because I know that certain like the tax brackets, which was explained to me, like up to a certain amount gets taxed to a certain percentage, and then any dollar over that next amount gets taxed in that bracket.
Yeah.
So you don't just,
which is crazy.
Well, yeah, which makes sense because you don't want to get over like where the rich people, like, at least in my head, I think sports athletes, and then you don't want them to get into like the 40 or 30% tax bracket, or 40, 50 or whatever, and then have all of their money taxed 50%. It's like that first 35,000 gets taxed, say like whatever 10.5% or whatever it is. Then it goes up. Your next big chunk of money gets taxed at a certain percentage. So I kind of want to look that up and see what that is. But continue talking about it.
Well, yeah, and it's just like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. He came out and said that the reason why there's 2 million plus voter or people signing the petition to get him recalled is because of far right conspiracies and QAnon believers. And I'm like, dude, you. And then he was.
Well,
talking
he has to say that to save face, right?
Of course,
yeah, that's what he has to say. He's not going to say, I should leave.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But what I'm saying he was on with Whoopi Goldberg. That, of course, she's just a fucking whack job. She's like, you've done a great job with California. I'm like, according to who? What do you mean? What do you mean
to her,
he's been doing?
She's still
what?
Rich. She's still rich.
Dude, I'm like, the unemployment rate in California alone is like 9% out of the entire United States alone. It's like a little above 9%. The homeless rate here is the highest. I think it's like New York first, and then California. I think people are leaving California in a mass exodus, and this motherfucker, these two fucking buffoons, these Neanderthals, these bozos are like, yeah, I've been doing a pretty good job. While he's sitting here, has his vineyard open, telling other motherfucking vineyards to close, telling everyone, hey, you need to have your masks on, blah, 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 stay inside, going out with no masks. Holy shit. That is him saying that. I wish someone would just tell him that's the reason why you're being recalled. That's why there's millions of people wanting you
but
recalled.
like I don't know if they'll actually get the vote to.
I know there's still a bunch of morons in
Well,
California that like, no, we want him.
Well, if they start
Okay.
to open, and what's funny is you talk about conspiracies, the recall happens, and it gets more and more publicity and all that stuff, and then now everything
Now
starts to
things are starting
relax.
to open.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
How convenient. How fucking
that's
convenient.
interesting. I was like, that's kind of I was like, that's, and then what was it when like the vaccine didn't come out until like it was Biden won. What was? Oh no, what was it? What was
The
time?
vaccine came out
Came out
before Biden won.
Yeah, but
And
it
then
was
Biden
like
tried saying,
no, before Biden was. Oh, when did they say? I think it was after the election results, wasn't it? But
No,
like when he was sworn in, like you know how like the election results are counted or whatever. They said Biden won, and then I thought then it was like 2 days later. It was like they came out. Oh, shit. I can't remember what
it was still under, because look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if it was after the election results, that was still under the Biden administration that the vaccine came out. And this motherfucker Biden, Joe Biden, Jesus Christ, he was on that CNN talk. He said, the vaccine that we didn't have before I came into office. I'm like, motherfucker, you got it before you came into office. You got the vaccination. What are you talking about? Dude, he's 78 years old. He needs to. You heard that he hasn't had a press conference himself in it's been like 2 months. That's never happened.
No, he hasn't had one, and I think they just announced. Didn't they just announce one, or they're going?
No, well, I don't know, but it's been 2 months since he's actually addressed the press live or whatever. It's been like 2 months. That's never happened in the history of presidents. I'm like, there's
well, if you were on their side, would you want him talking all the time?
No, of course not. No, of course not. I get it. And dude, okay, look, one time, okay, I'd be like, it might be a slip up. 2 times, and then another thing, 2 times. This is not a conspiracy. This motherfucker, Joe Biden, said President Harris twice. He said President Harris twice. Now listen to this. This is also really weird, okay?
I love your.
My buddy Kyle. No. Okay, look. Okay, my buddy Kyle. He went. He heard something. He heard about something. With Siri on Apple on iPhones, and he asked Siri what like I was like I think it was maybe a week or 2 I think after Joe Biden got elected or was to be elected. He asked Siri, how old is the president of the United States? Siri replied, Kamala Harris is blah blah blah. I was like, Kamala Harris, dude, come on. Like, we have Joe Biden saying it twice, and then Siri, and then within like a day, that was corrected.
It's a mix-up. It's just a little mix-up.
What do you mean? No, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. That there's no, you can't. Did that happen?
So you think that Kamala Harris?
Did that happen with Donald
States.
Trump? Did that happen with Donald Trump?
No, but I don't know. No.
Okay, then. So no, I don't think that's ever been a mix-up with Siri ever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He seemed like an idiot on different levels than Joe Biden. Joe Biden just doesn't seem like, he seems like an old grandfather that doesn't really know what's kind of going on at all. But that's how he is publicly, or at least in public. He could just be a bad public speaker.
Twice, though?
We go
President
from
Harris?
Look, I don't know. Look, this man has been in the public eye for decades, so I don't know why he's so bad at public speaking. But some people just aren't naturally good at it.
He's just old. That's why.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you look at videos of him,
interviews of him, but like he was still, he didn't seem, at least he didn't present as an extremely well-spoken person.
But it's funny because he
I like how he said the N-word and nobody picked it up.
Well,
that was very interesting.
Of course.
How he accidentally slipped and said the N-word and nobody mentioned it at all in the newspaper.
No, of course
But
not.
I'm like, if other presidents that you don't agree with said that, you'd be asking for them to step down. So I don't understand. So
and then, of course,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it was, and then Andrew Cuomo. He's had like 7 different women come forward.
Yeah, but like that whole thing, I prove it. prove what happened.
Well, no, no,
What
I
happened.
know
I
that.
don't
Look,
want him to step down just because
no,
a bunch of women
I
accuse
understand
him
that.
of
I get
something.
it.
Just
Yeah,
because you're accused of something doesn't mean you actually did it.
No, I know. Listen, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Take it seriously. Look at the facts, look at the evidence, and then go from there.
Yeah.
But what the fucking problem is what they did to Brett Kavanaugh. All they had is one accusation from one woman, and all of them, all Democrats, all the liberals, progressives, all of them say, oh, he's a rapist, doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. We need to believe all women, blah, 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 blah. Came to Tara Reid, accused Joe Biden of sexual misconduct. She fucking disappeared. They didn't really believe her. The Me Too movement. Nope. We got to backpedal a little bit. People
Well, that's
ask.
a weapon that they use to get people like
Andrew
who they
Cuomo.
don't like out of office or whatever. But when that weapon is used against them, they're just like, no, that's not a real thing. We need due process. I'm like, well, what if the due process wasn't happening to your opponents? Like you should treat like basically everyone equal, which is the whole issue kind of in this country just in general. But I'm just like,
well, yeah, I know they push for equality for minorities, but when it comes to white people or conservatives or any conservatives, there's no equality there. No, they don't want equality. They don't want us to have, I mean, dude, there's countless conservatives who follow on YouTube. All of them say they get censored. All of them. I even tried to watch a clip of Steven Crowder, and it brought up, this never happened before. It brought up this video has been deemed offensive and blah, 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 blah. And it said, you can either confirm and continue to watch it or cancel it. I hit confirm, and it wouldn't play the video. Confirm, wouldn't play the video. I'm like, wow.
I don't know. I don't know about listening to, or like it's the same reason I don't listen to Trevor Noah. It's like he's a comedian that got into news, and then like when I listen to Jon Stewart, I'm not really. I know he leans a certain way, and he's going to push his beliefs onto people, and that's the same reason I don't listen to like Steven Crowder was a stand-up. He's like a stand-up comedian, and the same thing with Dave Rubin. I didn't know he was a stand-up comedian as well. And when they lean a certain way, like extremely in a certain way politically, and they're a stand-up comedian, I'm like, and when they present this as news and stuff like that, like it'd be different.
They still make good points. They still use facts. They don't lie. They don't lie. They don't. They use facts.
I've watched certain people like react to Steven Crowder's videos or whatever, and then it makes Steven Crowder look like like not what he doesn't know what he's talking about. Seems like he's being disingenuous to a lot of certain
like what.
Well, I forget. There were certain.
You can't do that and then not watch his regular video. You can't do that. See, then you're being disingenuous.
No. I'm saying like the facts that he has. There's the two guys that you turned me on to. They're both black and they're from Canada, or one's from Canada. I forget.
The Hodge twins.
I have no idea what they're called. But they
can't just say the two black dudes.
They stand. Sorry, and as far as I know on YouTube, there's only two black guys that stand next to each other. One guy's got dreads, and the other guy he wears a hood sometimes, and they make.
ABBA and I can't remember. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Okay,
because I watched them, and one of them is also a stand-up comedian, which is kind of weird. All these stand-up comedians are getting into like these politic videos and viewpoints, but he played like a thing of Steven Crowder talking about like Black Lives Matter, and just they broke down certain things. I can't really remember exactly what the issue was.
Steven Crowder, I remember. Yeah, Steven Crowder. He was walking. Yeah, they disagreed with him, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you need to watch Steven Crowder's video. You can't just watch that. You have to watch his video and see his reasoning and all that, and look at the fact. If you're going to do that, you got to look at both sides for that. Because Steven Crowder,
I remember watching that video, and I understand his viewpoint, but I understand where he could maybe get that idea, but it comes off as disingenuous when you're ignoring certain aspects of the other side completely. And I like, just because you could be right on one issue, you don't. When someone holds a strong belief in something or a strong political stance in something, there's some kind of issue when there's something that they're being kind of disingenuous about. I would trust more people who are willing to listen on the issue and can see kind of both sides. But when they freak out and they have these,
well, that's why I don't understand how you don't like Steven Crowder, because he has those change my mind. He has a bunch of those where he'll have full episodes unedited.
I like that. I do like when he has that, when he has certain things. Yeah, but then I don't, when he's referencing studies, just like when anyone references a study, I have no idea what that study even has. Like, I don't know anything about that study. Where can I go look that study up? They just say, yeah, the study published in
No, Steven Crowder,
2019.
he'll give the link to most of his
Yeah, but
just about all of them.
I'm not saying to him, but it's just people in general when they have these kind of conversations.
Well,
And
yeah, I get that, but
it gets real muddy, and I'm just like, well, I can only go by like how I feel and like what people around me are saying. And most of this stuff, like I didn't hear, like me personally, I didn't see any racism growing up. But does that mean there were none around me? No, that doesn't mean that there wasn't any
of
around me.
course not.
It just I just didn't see it. So when you have
Well,
that kind of, I don't
and
know,
then
viewpoint.
another reason why I like Steven Crowder is because he's from Canada and he knows how it is like when it comes to not having he knows what it's like to not have the rights that Americans do. He knows he knows how
Yeah,
Canada is. And that's another reason why I like him, but also because of the change my mind aspect that I really like that because he, it's, and then like sometimes some of them might be edited, but it's usually just for time. But a lot of them, like people were telling him, hey, we want it unedited. He's like, okay, no problem. And it's like, you have 50 minutes, some of them are even over an hour. And that's where, like, when it came to how you and I were talking about the who regulates speech and who who legislates what we can say and what we cannot say. I learned that from Steven Crowder, how it's a slippery slope when it comes to that. Because I learned that, I watched that, and I was like, because there's a woman, the debate that he had was with a woman who, she was, long story short, because I'm gonna have to get out of here, but
mhm.
she told Crowder, she's like, she's like, I want to be clear. I'm not with these people who are overly emotional, like these over emotional liberals who are going to scream and yell and this and that. She was on your stamp. She was kind of like how you thought about it before, is she's like, well, I don't think people should just be able to say, racist things or this or that, and, things that are mean. And he said, he asked her, all he really did, he's like, okay, who legislates that? And she's like, well, I mean, the government, and she's not for the government. She's not for giving the power to more government. And I know you're not for that. And then that's where you get conflicted. You're like, okay, well, I guess that's how it is. That's how
Well,
it's
because
should be.
anything could be, as long as like who's in control of language, like the
Hmm.
people are, the people just in general. So you can make any, if you don't
You can
like
make,
what somebody is saying, you can tag a racist thing to it
yeah,
and then get that. So you're controlling people's speech this way. And I don't think you
and
should.
that's where the slippery
Yeah, yeah,
slope.
yeah. And
That's where you're like,
I get that point, and I'm just like, well, if you say something racially hateful, should it be a crime? And then initially, I would feel, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't. Technically, you shouldn't be able to say whatever you want. I think technically, like in my head, I thought, well, there should be some kind of punishment or fine. But then you're regulating speech, and it's not free
well, see,
speech.
but
So,
see, then this I forgot to mention too is there are repercussions for that. For instance, if I'm in a restaurant and I randomly go up to someone and start verbally harassing them, I can be arrested.
yeah,
Not because of free speech. I can be arrested because I'm disturbing the peace. Okay, one. So, and then also I'm in a restaurant and I'm going again. Obviously their policy for that restaurant is you can't just start harassing people. So that is different. So there are like, if especially if I would start saying
well, there are
racial
limits on
slurs.
speech. There's always been like I can't say I want to kill you. Like I
Well,
can't
yeah,
legally
but
say
see,
that.
well, yeah, of course, but that's we all know the call to action. But like I'm
Yeah,
saying, because a lot of people don't realize is, no, if I'm in a public place and I'm like just cursing at someone, yeah, okay, that's I could it's freedom of speech, but I could still get in trouble for that, for disturbing the peace.
yeah,
There are still misdemeanors where the people are like, hey, you need to quit, shut the fuck up, like get the fuck out of here, like I don't care who you are, stop, like we're not, just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean you can just go out. It doesn't mean that you can just go out and just start cursing at people. No, of course not. But it does mean that if, say, like, if I wanted to, I could walk to someone down the street, hey, fuck you, and then just walk away. That's different. And it just like the dude's like, what the fuck you? Oh, that was fucking rude. But I can't get in like if he were to tell the police like, well, just ignore it. He's a fucking idiot.
yeah. You shouldn't have to. Yeah, I
But
see what you're saying. Like, because I was, as at least far as all of the hate crime and all that stuff that exists in the world. Um, I thought like it'd be nice in a way that we could penalize people for saying derogatory things about anybody. But
yeah,
then I'm thinking, well, then you can say anything's derogatory. You can say anything is you're stealing this or you're taking that, which is racism, and then you get down this weird slope. So it's
We already know that
I don't think you can make word like a specific word or phrase illegal. I don't think you can do that because then people could weaponize that and use it to
and silence the people that they just don't agree with simply
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they don't
yeah.
agree with them.
And I want to hear as many ideas as possible, even if they're dumb ideas, because I want the best idea to win. So like if your idea has merit,
And
I
that's
think
the whole thing about America is
yeah.
having
And I
free
don't
speech.
when I see like professors like what was that Brett Weinstein.
Mm.
He was the professor at university, and they had like the day without white people or whatever. And he was like, no, that's discriminatory. And then
Yeah.
like all of the attacks he got, and then he basically he stood there and he's like, no, we should have a dialogue. We should have a dialogue. And they were just shouting and making like just a big group of people so you couldn't hear him. I'm like, well, this is not, you don't want a discussion. You just want to force your way and get what you want.
Mhm.
And that's like, that, isn't that fascism? I'm not too sure. Isn't that some side?
Yes.
I was like, that's not what it is. Like you
No,
need to
that
come.
right there is a form of fascism.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a
Yes, you're
reason
absolutely
that,
right.
yeah, there's a reason our, I guess our founding fathers, which is like, even they had issues with, like their system that they created, because no system's perfect. We're humans, but like debating, even debate, if you want to debate, and debate takes weeks, months back then, it would be forever. They would be debating forever. And then, because I read something about like the filibuster and the reason that's in there and why it's not in there, but then like there's going to be negatives and positives about that system, and then when you
Yeah.
take that out, there's going to be negatives and positives about taking it out. So like nothing, people are expecting this perfect solution and this perfect thing that makes everybody happy.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
like, it's not gonna happen.
and that's
Like
what these Democrats are
happy
promising.
now.
Yeah,
Well,
the
yeah, well,
Democrats are
Democrats are happy now, and like the electoral college, when Democrats won with the electoral college, they didn't care about the electoral college. It's just whatever team loses seems like they're like, well, we need to get rid of that. But like
no, see, that's not true.
But to me,
That's pure-
Republicans aren't saying that we need to get rid of the electoral college.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not saying that.
yeah.
But there are certain things that they don't like that like they criticize, and they're being hypocritical about the other side for. And I don't know if that's human nature. I don't know if what exactly that is, because Hillary said the election was stolen from Trump, or from her by Trump. And then when Trump lost, he said that the election was stolen from him. So I'm like, wait, so are you both right? Are you both wrong? Like, what exactly is going on? Or you just don't want to admit that you lost? Are you a spoiled brat and you don't want to just admit that you lost? Like, what is it exactly? Are their egos are up here? They got to be up here. They're in the top 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Well,
So,
yeah, of course. But
so they
then
don't want to be looked at as
where
a
you and I
loser.
that's where you and I disagree on, because
I honestly don't. There's no way. There's no. I don't think. Otherwise, then none of it matters. Then it's all chaos.
I know. That's the whole
It
thing.
doesn't
But
matter.
see, you can't admit that there are things we don't know about that happen. And then when it comes to voter fraud, with these politicians who we know, or most of them are probably corrupt, you're like, nah, that can't be. You can't do that. You have to be at least open, and especially with evidence.
And all of them are corrupt.
Yeah,
So
I know.
Okay, but you're for. So if Trump stole the election from Hillary, you're okay with that because you like Trump. But if Hillary stole it,
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I've never said. I said it goes for both parts. If there was voter fraud, then that's wrong. If there's both
but
parts.
I don't think it's such a big deal to where it would change the election completely. I don't know. I don't know. As far as my limited understanding of how electoral colleges work and all that stuff, I don't think.
I mean, well, and like I said, like there's
could be though. I don't know.
Like they've I don't know the because you haven't seen the shit that I've seen with when it comes to like the voter fraud. Like, because I know you that's a problem. That's a problem. You talk about that, you say, oh, it can't be, but then you don't necessarily look too much into it.
I don't believe it. Like, because I'm not an investigative reporter. I'm not on the ground finding out who runs the. I don't know how the polling.
But see, I understand that, but then
works. So I would have to understand all of that to understand if there could possibly be fraud, and then if there could possibly be fraud, who's doing it? Like,
I know. With that said, with what you just said right now, you can't deny it completely.
I'm not saying it's. I don't believe. My gut reaction is that in order to do that, it would involve a conspiracy that involves a ton of people. I'm not sure.
A ton of people? No, it doesn't involve it. It doesn't have to involve a ton of people. If you have the money like they do, you don't need that many people. Come on. This is power of God money here that we're talking about. We think that okay. We think Donald Trump is rich. You think Hillary Clinton is way richer. She has way more money. Way more money.
Think Hillary Clinton has more money.
I guarantee you she does.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you she does.
I don't think Hillary Clinton's a billionaire.
She's a career politician. Obama made more money than he did after he became president than he did while he was a president.
Well, yeah,
that shit doesn't happen. No, that doesn't happen. No, Donald Trump. That didn't happen. Donald Trump. That didn't happen with fucking.
First of all, Donald Trump started out with $1 billion. So if he became more rich, like
and he also lost his net value, went down after he became president.
Well, that's because a lot of the things he said were divisive. A lot of the things people could read in divisive. He did. He said a lot of weird. So some people don't like when men talk about grabbing women. Some people don't like that. Some people don't. And guys like me, I'm like
8 to 10 years ago. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break.
What? It doesn't matter. He said it. That's the kind of guy. Like that's the kind of guy he is. He's just whatever. He's just an average guy.
I know. That's why.
That's fine. I don't care if guys are like, hey, being famous is awesome. You can do anything with women. But remember before where we couldn't even barely talk to women? And no women liked us, and now we have power. We're a celebrity, and women just, it's kind of funny that it's like me I had long hair. I didn't work out. And as soon as I started working out and I cut my hair, women showed me attention. Mm-hmm. But I thought they were supposed to care about my personality. That's not a real thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. It's your
looks.
You see the hypocrisy, and that's what I think Donald Trump was trying to say and make a joke about, at least in that instance. It was like, you can do whatever you want now. You can do whatever you want, and it's fine because you're a celebrity. That's what he was talking about, and he said it in a really crude way that would turn some people off.
But yet those people behind closed doors say just as
the exact same thing. Shit. The exact same thing. They're
that's why I don't when I hear people.
Yeah. I don't like that either.
Outrage.
But
you're
I
all
understand
fake
that
outrage.
people are legitimately upset about that. And they're like, well, this is not who I want for president. That's not the kind of person I would want for president.
Well, of course, but then you can say, well, he's changed. He's changed because they vote for Joe Biden, who's said actual racist shit before. Oh, but for them, but they've had a change of heart. So Donald Trump hasn't had a change of heart. That was 8 years.
Well, no, because he's the enemy. He can't change a heart because. You got to get going. It's interesting. Chase. I'm trying to learn about all this stuff through conversations like this. So this has been fun.
I know. I love it.
Well, this has been another episode of Video Games and Nonsense. I'm Chase Carter.
Raymond Woods.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Whee!
I remember